Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about a really important topic, and before we get into that though, I want to say to the friends and family of this young lady that we're going to talk about today, if you are watching this video in the future, I am really sorry for your loss. This is absolutely tragic, and I just want to bring awareness to the ladies that watch my channel about the potential dangers of dealing with certain kinds of men at the strip club. And I think that her story definitely should be talked about. So again, to the friends and family, if you are watching this video, I am very sorry for your loss, and I absolutely sympathize with you, and I hope that this person that is been accused of doing this is definitely held accountable for his actions. So today we are going to talk about a lady named Abigail Saldana, and if I'm saying her last name wrong, please feel free to correct me in the comment section below. But her story starts on Tuesday, October 26, 2021. I just learned of this story a couple months ago, and I've been wanting to record this video for a while now. So let's get into the article here. So I will link the article in the description box below so you can read it for yourselves. And it says, an arrest warrant obtained by NBC 5 News on Monday, Fort Worth police say 54-year-old Stanley. Now I'm just gonna say his first name because his last name is really hard to pronounce, so we're just gonna address him as Stanley. Fatally shot 22-year-old Abigail Saldana multiple times after threatening, stalking, and harassing her. According to the affidavit, Saldana was found dead in her vehicle last Tuesday near the southern entrance to Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, not far from Rick's Cabaret where she worked. A witness called 911 to report seeing a car speeding before driving off the International Parkway exit ramp and into a grassy area next to the roadway. The caller approached the vehicle and reported bullet holes in the passenger side and an occupant inside unresponsive and not moving. Police and medical responders arrived and soon confirmed the driver was deceased from apparent gunshot wounds. In the affidavit, police said they found 3 shell casings, broken glass near the intersection of Amon Carter Boulevard and Texas 183, not far from where they found Saldana's car. Inside the woman's vehicle, detectives found a passport identifying her and clothing police described as consistent with those worn by exotic dancers. With Rick's Cabaret in view, investigators went inside and spoke to the manager, who confirmed Saldana worked there but said that she hadn't worked that day. The manager told police that Saldana said she had been harassed by a customer they knew as Stan, and he showed police Instagram posts where Saldana said the man was irritated with her over money and that he had threatened to report her to police. In another post, Saldana showed a GPS tracker she said Stan put on her car to follow her. The manager added Saldana said she was frightened of Stan because he was stalking and harassing her. According to the affidavit, detectives searched license plate reader records and found Stanley's 2015 Ford F-150 pickup truck was near Saldana's home in Farmers Branch at least 5 times over a 12-day span, indicating he may have been stalking her. They also said the reader showed his truck in close proximity to her vehicle in Farmers Branch 17 minutes before the shooting was reported. Detectives say Stanley agreed to meet with them for an interview on October 27th, but that 15 minutes before the appointment, he canceled, saying he had a death in the family. Investigators then obtained a search warrant for Stanley's residence, And Fort Worth SWAT officers executed the warrant shortly before midnight on the 27th, but Stanley refused to come out. SWAT officers eventually went inside and found Stanley on the balcony with self-inflicted cuts. While he was being treated for his injury, investigators obtained an arrest warrant. He was arrested and charged with murder after being released from the hospital. He is being held in the Tarrant County Jail on a $250,000 bond. It's not clear if he's obtained an attorney. Now, like I said again, I am so sorry to the family and friends of Abigail. I am really, really sorry for your loss, and I feel just absolutely awful. This story just broke my heart when I heard about this, and this is exactly why I feel like we need to talk about this, because this poor lady was stalked and harassed for months by this man, allegedly, and he decided to end her life for no good reason. And it's just absolutely tragic. So first of all, I want to say, you know, if you feel like you are being harassed by anybody, you know, even if you're not being harassed by a customer you met at work or something, always report that stuff to the police or tell somebody, because you just never know. These men out here nowadays, you just never know like what they are capable of doing, how far they're willing to go. You know, a lot of them get these weird obsessions sometimes with certain girls, and it's just like they just take it too far and they don't know when to stop. Okay, if they find you, you know, that attractive and they're that attracted to you, it can definitely turn into an obsession very easily. And I am not saying that to scare you ladies, but I'm saying that because I've seen it with my own eyes plenty of times. Maybe not to this extent, but I do have personal firsthand knowledge of somebody that I knew that I worked with that was basically in the same situation, except she was dating the man that ended up ending her life. And she was a dancer as well. So I know how men can be and their tendencies sometimes. Now, I'm not sitting here slandering men and saying that all men are stalkers and harassers, but we have to take into account that they do have more tendencies sometimes to take things that far. Okay, men are naturally predators, and women are kind of, if you look at it, like kind of the prey. You know, men go out and pursue women, and they chase us, okay, in a sense. Like, so if you think of it that way, like, yes, men are kind of like predators, unfortunately. And there's one thing I do believe to be true, and that sometimes when you have these men, let's just say you're dealing with a regular blue collar type of guy, you know, doesn't make a ton of money, but is not totally poor or broke either. The problem with those kind of customers is that if you take large amounts of money from them, okay, if you are able to extract that kind of money from them, what I have learned and what I have seen over the years is the problem with this is you must be careful, because guys like that don't, or I should say can't afford to be taken advantage of like that. And I say this because it has happened to me myself. And this was obviously back before the time where I knew these things. And, you know, if you're taking something from somebody that doesn't really have it, even if you're not taking it forcefully or anything like that, even if you're just getting it from this guy because he likes you that much and he's willing to like literally give you every penny he has because that's how much he's attracted to you, you must be careful in those kinds of situations a little bit, because that's when guys will tend to develop these tendencies to stalk you, harass you, bother you, because they over invested in you and they couldn't afford to do so. So they just want their payment back on their investment, in a sense, is that's how they're perceiving it. And because you're not giving them back what they think is owed to them, which means, you know, dating them, having sex with them, you know, being their girlfriend, whatever, you know, something like that, then that's when you get these stalker tendencies kind of come out in them. So just be mindful of that, ladies. You know, just be a little careful of the type of men that you are dealing with when you have these types of customers that become really attracted to you and spend a lot of money on you. Because if they are middle class, blue collar type of guys that don't have a lot of money and, you know, they're just giving you everything that you want and ask for, just be careful, because you just never know what they may or may not do when they realize that they're not going to get anything in return from you. Okay, so now that doesn't make it okay for them to retaliate, of course, and by no means is this her fault in any shape or form. But it is something I have noticed over the years. Like I said, it happened to me. Obviously, nothing bad ended up happening to me, but I was stalked and I was harassed. Now, I have learned from that situation and I have never repeated it since. So, you know, if you're going to go after men, you know, in the club for large amounts of money, or you're gonna take them outside of the club or whatever you're gonna do, just be mindful and just make sure that you know they have the funds. So like if you do decide to ghost them or get rid of them or dismiss them, that they're not gonna feel like they over invested into you, because I'm guessing a lot of you probably aren't trying to sleep with them. You know, you're probably just, you know, maybe trying to get some bills paid or get some money for whatever, and you're not trying to do all that. You're not trying to really, you know, like see them for, you know, like the long term. So just be careful that you know that this guy has the money to back it up, because if he doesn't, and you're literally taking his rent from him or his car payment from him and his electric bill from him, he might be a little angry about that if he realizes 3 months down the line that he's not going to be getting anything in return from you in terms of, you know, what he's looking for, which is usually sex. So, ladies, like I said, let's all just be, like I said, mindful of these types of situations. You know, tell your friends about this story, share this story with somebody. Like, let's keep her memory alive and, you know, learn something from this situation. Again, I am really, really sorry to her friends and family. I really do feel for you, and I really, I hope that this little story time maybe will help somebody else in the future. And again, if you ladies have any further questions, feel free to leave it down below, and I will see you in the next video.